Morning, morning, dear readers. Well, I'm really happy to be with you. It's quite warm here in Belgium. So, we are going to read two pages today. Well, yes. Before we start, I wanted to tell you we are still 50 readers. That's marvelous. We're going to read two pages today. And I can tell you already, I think it's a bit easier than last week. So please keep reading. It's going to be page 34 and 35 of the book Les Misérables of the famous author Victor Hugo. A really great French literature. So the end of the sentence is pas de mépris. So no contempt. And I think he's talking about the bishop who does not show any contempt towards him, so towards Jean Valjean. C'est bien bon un bon prêtre. So still Jean Valjean, he says, it's really good a good priest. Alors, vous n'avez pas besoin que je paye. So you do not have the need. In English, rather, you don't need that I pay. Non, dit l'évêque, gardez votre argent. No, said the bishop, keep your money. Combien avez-vous? How much do you have? Ne m'avez-vous pas dit 109 francs? So, haven't you told me? That's the haven't you told me? Yes, this is the told. So, have you not told me? 109 francs. This is the old French francs, like in Belgium. In France, you had francs before we had the euro. You had the Belgian francs and you had the French francs. 15 sous, ajouta l'homme. And 15 cents, added the man. 109 francs, 15 sous. So 909 francs, 15 cents. Et combien de temps avez-vous mis à gagner cela? And how much time have you put in English rather, has it taken you to earn that amount? 19 ans, 19 years. 19 ans, 19 years. L'évêque soupira profondément. So the bishop sighed deeply. Madame Magloire rentra. So Mrs. Magloire came in. Elle apportait. I'm sorry, let me get some coffee because I cannot articulate conveniently. So, let's do that again. Elle apportait un couvert qu'elle mit sur la table. So she brought remember I explained it already. Couvert, normally it's the cutlery. It's like knife, fork, spoon. But sometimes you would rather say in English maybe a set. She put an extra set on the table and she laid the table with an extra set. But let's translate it for the moment with cutlery. So one set of cutlery. That she put on the table. Me, coming from the verb mettre, and don't forget we have very often in literary texts, we have the passé simple, which is not the simple past. It's a passé simple. If you want more information about that, please ask me. Madame Magloire, dit l'évêque, mettez ce couvert le plus près possible du feu. Mrs. Magloire, said the bishop, put the set of cutlery the most near possible to the fire. So, the closest to the fire. Et se tournant vers son hôte, and turning or speaking to his host, le vent de nuit est dur dans les Alpes. So the wind of the night wind, is harsh in the Alps. Vous devez avoir froid, monsieur. So you must have called, sir. Well, in English, you would say you must be called, but in French, you have called. Chaque fois qu'il disait ce mot monsieur, avec sa voix doucement grave et de si bonne compagnie, le visage de l'homme s'illuminait. So each time, chaque fois, each time, that he said, so he is the bishop, that he said the word Mr., monsieur, with his voice soft and deep, and of such a good company, the face of the man lit up. So because he probably is not used to be called monsieur. That's why his whole face lit up when the bishop says monsieur. Monsieur a un forçat. C'est un verre d'eau à un naufrage de la méduse. So, Mr. to un forçat, well, it's a convict or a slave. It is a glass of water to or compared to a naufragé. What shall we say? A shipwreck victim of the Méduse. Méduse is the name of a ship. It was a French ship of that time. And it was shipwrecked off the coast of Africa. So it's a very famous French ship. L'ignominie a soif de considération. So you could say ignominy, but you can also say so. The disgrace had thirst of consideration. I hope you understand that sentence. It means like that man who has been disgraced during his whole life, he had thirst of, he was thirsty of, he needed consideration, which we can understand. Voici, reprit l'évêque, une lampe qui éclaire bien mal. Here is, said the bishop, a lamp which lights up very badly. He's saying that. He's saying, we don't have a lot of light here. And so this is, I think, a signal to the housekeeper to get more, to get candles and nice chandeliers. Madame Magloire comprit. So Mrs. Magloire understood. Et elle alla chercher sur la cheminée de la chambre à coucher de Monseigneur, les 2 chandeliers d'argent qu'elle posa sur la table tout allumée. So, and she went to fetch on the chimney of the bedroom. Chambre à coucher is the bedroom of Monseigneur. That's in fact the title you give to the bishop, like we could say His Eminence. So the bedroom of His Eminence, of the bishop, the 2 chandeliers of silver that she put on the table, totally lit up. So all the candles lit up. Monsieur le curé, dit l'homme, vous êtes bon. Mr. Priest, but I think in English we'd rather say father, when you talk to a priest, said the man, you are good. Vous ne me méprisez pas. You do not mépriser, despise me. Vous me recevez chez vous. You receive me at your place. Vous allumez vos cierges pour moi. You are, allumé, lighting up your candles for me. Je ne vous ai pourtant pas caché d'où je viens et que je suis un homme malheureux. And so the word pourtant means although I have not, vous, to you, hidden from where I come from, and that I am a miserable man. L'évêque, assis près de lui toucha doucement la main. So the bishop, sitting near him, touched him softly the hand. So the bishop touched softly the hand of the man. Vous pouviez ne pas me dire qui vous étiez. So you could not have said who you were. Ce n'est pas ici ma maison, c'est la maison de Jésus-Christ. So this isn't here my house, it is the house of Jesus Christ. Cette porte ne demande pas à celui qui entre s'il a un nom, mais s'il a une douleur. So this door does not ask to the one who enters if he has a name, but if he has a douleur, pain, or distress. Le visage de l'évêque prit tout à coup cette expression de gaieté propre aux natures hospitalières. So the face of the bishop took all at once that expression of gaieté. It's like really cheerfulness, because gai in French means cheerful. So cheerfulness, likely to hospitable natures or welcoming natures and nice people. À table, dit-il vivement. So à table, it really means at the table, but so I think in English we would say dinner is ready, he said, full of life, vivement. Comme il en avait coutume lorsque, as he had the habit, when, and so now we go to the next page, when, quelques étrangers soupaient avec lui. Il fit asseoir l'homme à sa droite. So as he always did when a stranger soupait, had dinner with him, he made sit the man to his right side. Mademoiselle Baptistine, parfaitement paisible et naturelle, prit place à sa gauche. So Mrs. Baptistine, perfectly peaceful and natural, took place to his left. Okay, so they're all sitting around the table. L'évêque dit le bénédicité, puis servit lui-même la soupe selon son habitude. So the bishop said the blessing, it's the words those religious people say before eating, so the blessing, then served himself the soup according to his habit. L'homme se mit à manger avidement. So the man se mit à, we had that already before, it means to start, it comes from the verb se mettre à. So the man started to eat, what shall I say, greedily. Tout à coup, l'évêque dit, all at once the bishop said, mais il me semble qu'il manque quelque chose sur cette table. But it seems to me that there is missing something on this table. Madame Magloire, en effet, n'avait mis que les 3 couverts absolument nécessaires. So Mrs. Magloire, indeed, had put only the 3 sets of cutlery absolutely necessary. Or, c'était l'usage de la maison, quand l'évêque avait quelqu'un à souper, de disposer sur la nappe les 6 couverts d'argent, étalage innocent. So, or means yet. It was the habit of the house when the bishop had someone to supper or to dinner to dispose on the tablecloth the 6 sets of cutlery of silver, in silver. Étalage, well, how shall we, well, étalage is a display, it's an innocent display. Huh? This is just a nice way of doing. Okay? If you have questions, don't hesitate to ask me. Ce gracieux semblant de luxe était une sorte d'enfantillage plein de charme dans cette maison douce et sévère qui élevait la pauvreté jusqu'à la dignité. So this gracious, semblant appearance of luxury was a sort of a kind of childishness, full of charm in this house, in this soft and severe house, which élevait, maybe pushed up or put up poverty until the level, until the level of dignity. Very, very nice. Ok, Madame Magloire comprit l'observation, sortit sans dire un mot, et un moment après, les 3 couverts réclamés par l'évêque brillaient sur la nappe, symétriquement arrangés devant chacun des 3 convives. So, Mrs. Magloire understood the observation, so the comment that was made by the bishop, and took out, without saying a word, and a moment after, she took out what? The 3 sets of cutlery demanded by the bishop were shining on the tablecloth, symmetrically arranged in front of each of the 3 guests. Good. Après avoir donné le bonsoir à sa sœur, Monseigneur Bienvenu prit sur la table un des 2 flambeaux d'argent, remit l'autre à son hôte et lui dit. So after having given the good night to his sister, well, Monseigneur, His Eminence, so his father Bienvenu, but I think he will say His Eminence Bienvenu, that's his name, took on the table one of the 2 flambeaux, we could say torches, but I think here it's more like chandeliers of silver, gave the other to his host and said to him, Monsieur, je vais vous conduire à votre chambre. Sir, I'm going to lead you to, or usher you to your room. L'homme le suivit. The man followed him. Le logis était distribué de telle sorte que pour passer dans l'oratoire, où était l'alcôve, ou pour en sortir, il fallait traverser la chambre à coucher de l'évêque. So le logis, the house or the lodge was distributed in such a way, so to pass in the oratoire, we could say oratory, but I'd rather say, I think it's like a chapel. In the chapel where was the alcove, or to get out of it, it was necessary to traverser, to go through the bedroom of the bishop. So one had to cross the room of the bishop to get to where Jean Valjean was going to sleep, in the alcove. Au moment où il traversait cette chambre, Madame Magloire serrait l'argenterie dans le placard qui était au chevet du lit. So at the moment when, see, in French you will say at the moment where, hein, le moment où. At the moment when they crossed that room, Mrs. Magloire serrait means to squeeze and to hold very tight, the silverware in the cupboard, which was at the side of the bed, hein, chevet du lit, the bedside, the side of the bed. C'était le dernier soin qu'elle prenait chaque soir avant d'aller se coucher. It was the last soin, the last thing, but here it rather means the last care that she took each evening before going to sleep. So every night she put the silverware in that cupboard which stood in the room of the bishop. L'évêque installa son hôte dans l'alcôve. So the bishop installed or settled or, maybe settled his host in the alcove. Un lit blanc et frais y était dressé. So a bed white and fresh was there dressed, was there made. And the I is there, it's a place. L'homme posa le flambeau sur une petite table. So the man put the torch or the chandelier on a small table. Allons, dit l'évêque, faites une bonne nuit. Good. So allons, normally it means like, go, please go, huh? Go to sleep maybe, but go, said the bishop, have a good night. Demain, tomorrow, but that we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Well, thank you really for reading with me. Don't hesitate to ask me questions about the structure or vocabulary. I can always make extra videos to explain grammar questions or whatever. So I count on you, but thank you. And I hope we're still 50 people who are reading with me. Thank you and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.